Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It is Tuesday at 2:33 p.m. Mountain Time on September 13th, 2022. The price of Bitcoin is $20,272. The price of Ethereum is $1,617. The whole market is down on the news that the Fed is raising the interest rates. A lot of other YouTubers have covered this. This is part of a macro trend. They're just going to keep doing this until inflation is under control, and I think it's going to be a long fight. I don't think we're done with inflation. It's going to be around for a long time. But today I want to talk about something different. I don't necessarily want to talk about the cryptocurrency scene, even though that's almost always what I talk about. There's another technology that's caught my interest, not just recently, but in the past couple of years. However, in the past few months, it's become more and more prominent, and I think it's worth taking a look at. I want to look at AI art, AI image generation, the text to art tools that are coming online. Cryptocurrency is it's a Pandora's box. It opens up possibilities that never existed before, just as the internet itself did, and I believe as AI is doing to us right now. You've probably heard this headline. An artist named Jason Allen won first prize in a Colorado art contest with AI art. A lot of the other artists involved were very upset. Allen contends that this is just real art. It's just as real as any other art. He used AI. Some other artists use oil and canvas. What's the difference? You're contending with the tools, not the art itself. There's some interesting ideas here. Kevin Kelly, who I talked about yesterday, you remember we talked about Bitcoin being 5,000 days old, running consistently for 5,000 days. Kevin Kelly, founder of Wired Magazine, wrote an editorial for Wired years ago about the jobs of the future and how we continually are wrong about how we're going to run out of jobs because robots are going to take them all. He said, well, that's always been untrue, and part of the reason that we keep making this mistake is because we cannot imagine the jobs of the future because they would sound absurd if somebody described them to you today, because they're not possible. They're hardly even imaginable. If you had told somebody that content moderator on the internet or, say, community manager on a Discord was your job, if you'd told them that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, would they have any idea what you were talking about? It would have sounded like gobbledygook. Well, Kevin Kelly said that we're not going to understand the job titles of the future. Others who are looking at this AI art stuff are saying that because AI art is something of a black box, we don't totally understand how it works. In fact, it works in ways that the human mind really can't comprehend very well. One job of the future might simply be that you are the AI whisperer. You're the one who knows exactly what words to write to get the AI to do exactly what people want to do. Language is the interface. So if you don't have the right language, then you don't have a chance. It's a weird idea, but I think there's something to it. We've all heard of DALL-E 2 from OpenAI. Maybe you've heard of Imagen from Google. This is their tool for creating images from text. There's also one that's open source, a method called Stable Diffusion that anyone can try out. You can use it on Hugging Face, or there are several different tools like DreamStudio.ai that will allow you to try this out. But there's one called Midjourney that's getting a lot of attention. So I've been experimenting with all of these. I've been experimenting with Midjourney most recently. If you go to join the beta, what does it do? It kicks you out to its Discord. And that's where Midjourney lives right now for people who want to experiment with it. You just punch in the prompts inside of Discord. So it's been interesting. I put in there Vitalik Buterin as a furry Muppet, Jim Henson style, Vitalik Buterin, co-founder of Ethereum. And it spits out several different options, right? We have some that are more Vitalik. We have some that are more Muppet. Same is true here. Lower left, totally Muppet. Upper left, totally Vitalik. And then from there, you can click different buttons in this bot inside Discord using Midjourney. You can click on Create Variations. So you have V1, V2, V3, V4, and you can you can create iterations, variations on any one of these 4 in the grid, or you can upscale. Okay, take this one, I like the direction of this one, and give me a few variations on that, or give me higher detail, that's what upscaling, give me greater detail on this one. So you can try it out several different ways, change the prompt, add descriptors, add different things that you want to see, and get different outcomes. And I wanted to see some that were more Muppety or some that were more Vitalik-y. And then you can upscale and see details. I really liked this one. It seemed like the best of both worlds, even though it's kind of creepy a little bit. Also, last night I was on Reddit and I saw this video. It wasn't this post exactly, but it was this video of this furry turtle swimming through the ocean. The caption says, "A diver found a turtle that looks like it knows all the secrets of the universe." This furry, interesting guy made me think of art by fantasy illustrator James Christensen, who died a number of years ago. He was very renowned. Where I live in Utah, he lived here. He was a famous artist in the area. He drew a lot of fantasy images, and so I said, okay, can we take that idea of a furry, mossy turtle in fantasy art a la James Christensen and do something with that? So I put that into Midjourney and tried out a few different things. I like this one in the top left, so I said, okay, give me variations on that. And it keeps the general composition while changing the details further. I iterated and eventually I iterated until I got one that I really liked and started upscaling and iterating on that one. And you do eventually get some interesting, coherent results. You just have to keep refining the language. That's why I think there's something to this idea of a future job description being the AI whisperer, the one who knows the right language to feed the AI to get the results you want. Because this doesn't happen on your first try. Everything has to be filtered through language. If you're the person who masters the language and can speak the right language for the AI to do what's needed, then you win and you're valuable, and not everybody can do that. I really liked this one right here on the left. Very cool. I gave a couple more iterations. This one on the right is particularly good. And then I took those results. Oh, that one's nice too on the left. Very cool. See, a furry fantasy, wise turtle. And I included in that prompt speaking to a small adventurer. And I didn't at first indicate whether the adventurer was human or not. And the AI, interestingly enough, decided not. I had assumed it would be like a little knight, like I'm in The Neverending Story or something like that. Not what the AI came up with. Kind of tricky. Eventually I got to this one. I really like this one. You've got this kind of lizardy guy here on the back of this turtle. It's pretty convincing, right? 4 limbs, distinct toes. This is really good. I then took that and I put it into Artbreeder. Now, Artbreeder is another tool that uses a lot of these AI tools, stable diffusion type techniques, where it creates noise and then diffuses it down, refines it down into a coherent image based on a training set of images that it already has been exposed to. But it took out my little adventurer guy. So one thing that we can do here is, let's play with it. Can we... Giant, ancient, friendly, mossy, wise, freshwater turtle listening to a tiny bearded adventurer offering advice. Yeah, lost the adventurer. I want that guy back. So, can we edit this? Copy to clipboard. Let's go back to Artreader, try demo. I want to do a live demo real quick. And it's going to show you how this works. You can paint in rough stuff to show exactly how it works. You can drag in existing images, you can crop stuff and move it around. And then when you've got it all ready to go, you render it with a couple different variables and you get some version of what you're looking for, right? Linguistically, compositionally, what you've indicated. So we're going to give that a shot. I don't want any of these things, so I'm going to delete the demo material they give us. Oh, how do I delete it? Come on. This was easier on my other computer. I don't want that stuff. Go away. Okay, maybe I'll just end up dragging them off. Nope, there it is. I can delete them by clicking up here. That's what I want. That little tiny trash icon, that pink icon right there. That's where I can delete them. But I have to drag them around a little bit to get that. It's a little awkward. There are versions of this that you can implement locally, so it happens on your own machine. They do say that you really need to have a good computer to do that, a good graphics card specifically. I am working on doing that on my PC. Right now I'm on my Mac laptop, so it's a little trickier. But I do have a PC with a graphics card, and I'm trying to implement that there so that I can really do some cool stuff. I'm also trying to play around with deepfakes. That's another really interesting technology that's totally relevant. All of these things are going to reach a point in the not distant future we're going to see tools of this sort proliferate exponentially, a Cambrian explosion over just the next few months. It's already happening. But over the next few years, you will have many different options. And between them all, you will be able to create images with language and drag them from one tool to another. And anybody who's willing to put in a little bit of time, not a ton, who's aware of the right tools, and who is creative with their language will be able to produce stunning images of virtually anything. Okay, we're going to upload that image. Oh, where is it? No, that's my thumbnail. Darn. I want that turtle. I want my turtle guy. Yeah, let's roll with this guy. There we go. I'm uploading my turtle guy. There he is. Now I want to add the little adventurer who was lost. And in Artbreeder, you can just search. So I'm going to search for the word man because I want a little man. I don't want these stock image guys. They would be fine, but I want full body. I don't want that guy in the suit. The suit seems to, I don't want the bare-chested guy, not particularly. I do want head to toe, so I need a full body dude to stand in the image next to our giant turtle. Because why not? And there's what I'm looking for right there. This generic polygon of a person. Did we get him in there? I think we did. Yep, there it is. Oh, I accidentally got him twice. Let's go ahead and delete that. We've got 2 of them. We don't need 2. We just want 1. I'm going to resize him down. And I'm going to put him right over here talking to our turtle friend. Now here at the bottom, you see a slider that says AI. This is for the intensity, AI render intensity. If you slide it all the way to the right, what you will get is wildly imaginative and varies tremendously from the prompt image that you're giving. If you go all the way to the left, then it hardly changes anything. It sticks very strictly to what you've put forward. What I want is somewhere in the middle. I think I want it more imaginative than not, and I need to put in my prompt. So, wise old turtle. Giant turtle. Wise old giant mossy turtle speaking with tiny adventurer man giving advice. Yeah, sure. Let's roll with that. Fantasy art James Christensen. Need to spell his name correctly. And bright colors. There we go. Let's give that a try. And this dice thing right here, I don't know exactly what that does. Different numbers give unique renders. It seems like an element of randomness, if I have to assume, but I don't know the nuts and bolts of exactly how this works. But there you have it. Let's render this, and it doesn't take very long. You do have to wait in line. We start at number 58, but that number drops quickly, faster than once a second, so this isn't exactly a seconds countdown. Let's see what it comes down to. We're down to 35 now. This is going to make life really weird. One thing that social media has done, and we've witnessed this over the last 20 years, is social media has created a hyper-reality, an image of reality that is indistinguishable from the real world. Too many of us, consciously or not, get caught up in social media thinking that this is the world we live in, when in fact, arguments on Twitter are not real life arguments. We treat them that way, but they're not real life. You go outside, your neighbors are still pretty nice to you. Things are still pretty civil. AI is about to do that same thing in a very different, weird, freakish way. It's going to create a world that is so real, so apparently real, that it will be very difficult to distinguish from actual reality. You're going to see images and video and audio that are hyper real, but are totally imagined. And those will all converge. Audio, images, video. Ultimately, I don't know how many years hence, this is going to rival Disney Pixar. because you will be able to use AI to create a script for a short video with different characters overcoming hurdles and growing as individuals. Then you'll be able to feed those prompts into an image generator. Then you'll take that image and feed it into an animator. Then you'll take that, and all of these individual pieces exist in nascent form right now, and it doesn't take very much to stitch them together. I'm very keen to experiment with this, as you see here. Let's take a look at what we've got. What did this create for us? Let's click away. That's pretty good. And you can just plug a photograph in here and still get great results. Let's save the before and after, and in fact, let's take a look at the before and after. Before and after, and I want to open that in a new tab. So new tab, and here's the before and after. This is what we started with. Rough polygon of a man and the turtle after many iterations in Midjourney, to another version of that same turtle, and the man has mysteriously moved, but I'm not very upset about it. These tools, you'll be able to zero in. I'm really happy with how the turtle has come together. He has the right number of legs. He's totally recognizable, but the man could use a lot more help. There are versions of this already where you can zero in on the areas that you want to refine and continue to zero in and refine to your heart's delight. All right, that's what I got today. Play with Midjourney if you get a chance. Play with Artbreeder. Artbreeder is a lot of fun and very accessible. You can just put anything in there and tweak the settings and hit go. All of these are really fascinating. You've seen me before play with Crayon, Crayaiyon. This is a DALL-E clone. Used to be called DALL-E Mini, and then they had to change the name to avoid further confusion. And this took a long time, didn't produce awesome results. Fantasy, turtle, bright colors, mossy wise. And it takes like 2 minutes to produce results. And then the results are themselves not terribly convincing. They have turtle-ness, but they're not a turtle. And we're starting to bridge that chasm because this is undeniably a turtle. Anybody who sees that, a child who sees that, will recognize it, not just for its turtle-ness, but for being a discernible, clear unit, one turtle. That's the next step we have to go, is to take these qualities, right? AI is very good at identifying the qualities of something, what makes something turtle-ish, and bridging that gap between turtle-ness, turtle-ish, and a clear turtle. But that's happening right now, and you can manually get it there yourself at the moment. All right, that's what I got, team. Go outside, touch some grass, get some sunshine, prepare for winter. It's gonna be fall here pretty soon. I can already see it in my own hometown. But hopefully we'll have good people and a warm hearth and interesting technology like this to keep us company in the midst of what is probably a recession or depression upon us. All right. Keep stacking sats, too. Take care, team. Bye.